Greetings and welcome. How are we all feeling today? Today I want to focus on the fact that everyone has their own map of the world. And what this means is everyone has their own perspectives, their own view on humanity, how the world works, and what they expect the world to be for themselves. And because of this, we have debates, we have fights, conflicts, wars, miscommunications, mistranslations, and we struggle to meet each other in the middle because we're both upset for the same reason, but we see it differently. And sometimes it's not always about being right. It's about having your feelings validated, what you believe, because no one likes to be proven that their belief isn't real, because you value it. And when someone devalues something that you believe, it feels like a personal attack, and that's when you disconnect from that person. And heated arguments are very common, and we end up fighting and hurting each other. This is because we become too emotionally invested into the fight, and because of this we cannot make a well-informed decision, and we just react and react and react, and that causes retaliation until it's the end and there's nothing left of your relationship. That's why it's so important to try and avoid explosive situations, and in any way where you might hurt or trigger someone or upset someone for no reason, rather don't. Because yes, you are entitled to having your own opinions, but other people do as well, and people don't take it very well when you tell them what they believe is wrong. That's why it's important to have an open perspective, to be able to understand what the other person is feeling, and to get down to their model of the world so you can understand where they are in their minds and they can understand where you are in your mind. If we just had a little bit more patience to understand each other and hear what the other person is saying instead of hearing what we want to hear, the world would be a different place. So it's so important when you do get into these situations that you don't engage, because if you engage into these types of situations, you are just adding fuel, and it may cause a massive explosion. Because as soon as you stop reacting or responding, that energy starts to die down, because there's nothing keeping it charged anymore. So the emotion will naturally relax. And then it's important that we don't place blame, because if you hurt and the other person's hurt, it's good to understand each other instead of saying you're wrong. But most of the time, both of us are wrong in some way or another, because if someone started the fight, you had to react or respond in order for that fight to happen. And that's why it's important that we rather take responsibility for the things that we have done or said that may have affected someone else. And when you do get into these situations, and it really will happen, don't trigger yourself or other people, because trauma really makes people do irrational things and say irrational things. And don't raise your voice, because if a person feels threatened, they will match that until it becomes a screaming match. So we just have to give each other a little bit more understanding. So remember, you are unique and valuable. Take care of that beautiful person. Please feel free to leave a topic in the comment section and I'll make a video discussing it. Stay strong wherever you're from. See you next time.